Escape Room 2 debuting in spring 2020. So here we go from Slash Film. Even though it may have been released in the dumping crown month of January, okay, yeah, there you go. Escape Room has become a hit film for Sony Pictures. The film only cost $9 million to produce, and it raked in nearly $119 million at the box office. And then they say, in Hollywood, that's grounds for a sequel, right? The studio is making moves to release Escape Room 2 in the spring of 2020. And if the end of the first movie is any indicator, we may already have an idea of where it's going. And then Deadline has the news of Escape Room 2 being set for release on April 17th, 2020, which is a much more confident release date than the original movie, since April is when blockbuster summer has been starting in the past few years. But hopefully that won't keep the sequel from grabbing as much cash as the first movie. So, Adam Robitel will return to direct after helming the first film, and the script will again be written by Bragi F. Shute, and producer Neil H. Moritz is also back in the same capacity. So basically, everyone's coming back for this. The writer, the director, producers, and everyone's kind of coming back for this Escape Room 2. So as they say in this article, I haven't seen the movie, of course, so May, if you want to speak on this, what is there room for this sequel? Does it make sense? And, what could we maybe then expect from the sequel after the ending of the first movie?
Yeah, the end of the movie is a blatant setup for a sequel. In fact, I actually thought that maybe they wouldn't do a sequel because I thought maybe it was a joke. Because, I mean, the ending of the movie, it's one of those things where you watch it and the movie is open-ended. I mean, it's really stupid. I would have no interest in watching a sequel, really. I think and especially in the direction they're going to take it, I think it doesn't look interesting at all. I think it looks pretty terrible, but I mean, I think I probably said this in the review. I don't think it's a very good movie, but I think it can be enjoyable. I said this, I think, in the review. If you go and see it with friends or whatever, and you can kind of make fun of it, but I don't actually think it's a very good movie. I think it's obviously I don't think the acting is very good, and I think the script is really bad, and I think the pacing of it's really weird, and then I think it's overall, and like I said, and also the ending I think is garbage, and really, really just, like I said, just a blatant setup for a sequel that I would have no interest in watching because it's not going to be the same as, it doesn't have the same gimmick, right? The escape room movie, the gimmick of the escape room movie is that they're in a live or die, a life or death escape room.
Yeah.
The way they set up the sequel, without spoiling anything, it's not going to be about an escape room, really.
Okay.
At least from what I gather from the ending of the movie. So, it's pretty laughably bad how kind of blatant this setup is. And yeah, if the ending is any indication, I really would not have any interest in watching a sequel. And spoilers of exactly what that is, but
yeah,
I don't think a second escape room, unless they go a different way.
Yeah, I think also, just from me not even seeing the movie, I mean, if you're working with a concept like escape room, I think it works for the first movie, and I think that's probably the main reason they made money, is just off this concept alone. Of course, you think this is a real thing, right? You can kind of go to these simulations, but this movie's kind of playing on, well, what if that was reality type of thing, right? And like you said, life and death, it actually matters. You don't hit a button and some guy lets you out eventually, but
right.
So I think the concept itself is okay, that's kind of a cool concept, but as you said, the writing, so maybe it's not a good thing that the writers are coming back, by the sounds of it, but...
it's the dialogue. I mean, especially at the beginning, it was cringeworthy.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, if you want to talk about, the screenplay as a whole, kind of, maybe that's a different case, but certainly the dialogue is god-awful.
Okay. So yeah, but I mean, that concept is kind of already used. So I think if they do go in a sequel and they don't go in the direction like you're saying, they do, I think it's, I don't know. I think it's, I don't think you can do this concept again, right? And I don't think it's going to make a lot of money. And then if they don't use this concept, but it's going to be a sequel to Escape Room, and it's not going to be in an escape room, It's like
Yeah.
the audience did not care enough about these characters.
Right.
As you just said, the acting was pretty bad. The dialogue was not good. So obviously that character development's not there. So you don't care enough about the characters going into it. And I mean, notably too, in this article, they never mention any of the cast members either. You know, so to me, I think this is very, very likely to flop, this sequel. And like I'm with you. I don't. Again, I mean, it's just that the box office did well, so they thought, oh, let's do a sequel. But again, it's like if they can make this movie for 9 million again, or like under it, maybe just above it, why not? Like, you know, like
Yeah.
it's probably gonna make more than that. So yeah, they'll make, you know, a few million, I guess. But yeah, no, I don't see this movie even making half of the same box office as the first one, because I think that concept's just drawn out. But anyways,